Hey everybody, good morning. It's TGIF. It's Friday, if you will. And I'm here to talk about Impact last night. Now, I didn't watch Impact, but I did watch some of the clips on the TNA Wrestling channel on YouTube. And I have to say that isn't it any wonder why I don't watch Impact right now, and I only download it, and if I feel like it, put it onto DVD later on. I mean, first of all, this 19-minute segment, that's what it says. You look on the time frame of how long it was. This 19-minute opening segment. My God. If they just used it to have Sting come out, take the belt that Jeff Hardy had, put it in the trash like somebody described they did. Apparently they were making that up. In the trash, display the new one, saying this is the beginning of like a new era. And if anybody wants a shot, come get it. That'd have been no problem. And you know what? I wouldn't even have had a problem with Hogan and Bischoff coming down, which they did. But come on, honestly, and then you have Bully Ray come down. Then you have Anderson. Then you have Fortune. Then you have Anderson. Basically, Bully Ray is offering himself to be part of Immortal. He wants to prove himself. So basically, Bully Ray's taking the role of some other guys when they did the NWO thing in WCW. He's going up and saying, hey, I want to be part of your group. Let me prove myself worthy. Whatever. So basically, we get these guys in the ring, and even before that, we get Hogan and Sting talking about Jeff Hardy and how everything was Jeff Hardy's fault. Now, I will admit this: everything that happened at Victory Road wasn't just Jeff Hardy's fault, but it was also TNA's. And you know what's funny about this, folks? You know what's funny about this? Is TNA, earlier this week, wants to offer an apology for the show running short, for Victory Road running short. Okay. First of all, that's not the apologies they should have ran. No. The apology they should have ran was the fact that we're sorry we let an intoxicated dickhead, and I'm a Jeff Hardy fan and that's hard for me to say, but that we allowed an intoxicated dickhead, or fuck up, if you will, to go to the ring and perform. We apologize for that. We shouldn't have let that happen. We should have planned an alternative. It's like I said in my 3-part rant. They should, if they want to learn about how to alternate and give fans what they really want, give fans worth, kind of redeem themselves at the very show, you know what you need to do, TNA? And I said this in my rant. You need to take lessons from Paul Heyman. Yeah, it's hard for me to say. But you need to take lessons from Paul Heyman. Because when he ran ECW, he ran it to the point that when something happened, he didn't make up some shit. He didn't make up some shit to cover his ass or cover ECW's ass. He didn't allow his injured or intoxicated superstars to go out there and perform. No. You know what he did? He came out to the ring, he came on camera, and he told the truth. He told the truth. And you know what, Bischoff, Dixie, Hogan, Russo, Bob, that's Dixie's father, if you don't know. You know what I would have done if I was one of you guys? If I was one of you guys, I would have came out to that ring. And if Bischoff and Hogan right now are your on-camera officials, head personalities, I would have had one of them come out, along with you, Dixie, break kayfabe and tell the people in the Impact Zone the fucking truth. Tell the people watching at home the fucking truth about what's happening. And this is why you're changing this. This is why you're changing the lineup. That's what I would have done. That way you would have had to. That way you wouldn't have had to give people an apology. That way you wouldn't have had to, as somebody put it on the, well, the pro wrestling, the PWI Torch app. That way you wouldn't have to put Jeff Hardy under the bus or anything, or throw Jeff Hardy under the bus. The truth is, all this could have been avoided if you would have just gone out there and told people the truth. I mean, Bischoff, you went to the ring. You went to the ring in a huff, in an absolute pissed off huff. I saw it. Everybody that ordered and streamed and downloaded that pay-per-view saw it. Couldn't you have just said, hold up, and couldn't you have just, instead of saying, oh, we're going to change things up now and make something up, do you think you could have just broke kayfabe for a second and said, told the people, look, we can't let this match go on right now because Jeff Hardy's in no condition to compete because he's intoxicated. He's mentally not all here. Do you think you could have at least done that? Instead of trying to make some shit up? I mean, it's no wonder Sting stomped your damn hand. But again, getting back to Impact, they throw Jeff Hardy under the bus. And according to somebody at the PWI Torch, this is probably going to set up a Jeff Hardy babyface return. I've got news for you people at the PWI Torch. I've got news for people at the Wrestling News Observer, the Wrestling News World, the Max Sports Pro Wrestling Report. I've got news for all of you. Jeff Hardy probably not going to come back to TNA for quite some time. You know what? You know what's going to happen? I would not be surprised within the next few weeks if Jeff Hardy doesn't come back in time for lockdown. Then in the next few weeks, we get news that TNA has released Jeff Hardy. I would not be surprised by that. Because if he's sent home by TNA for the next 3 weeks, then what's the point? Are you going to hope he's going to clean up his act in the next 3 weeks? Hope he won't do this again? That's a possibility. But guess what? It's not going to work. It probably won't work. It'll probably pull the same shit again. So I wouldn't be surprised if TNA releases him in the next few weeks. It says, that's it, we're done with Jeff Hardy. I mean, when Sting handed Hogan the belt, Jeff Hardy's Immortal World title belt, and saying this is all that's left of Jeff Hardy, and Hogan just tosses it out of the ring like it's nothing, then that tells me that TNA has had it with Jeff Hardy. They've had it. And then to make matters worse, you decide you're going to make a four-way #1 contenders match. The winner faces Sting at Lockdown. You put AJ in there. You put Bully Ray in there. You put Anderson in there. You put RVD in there. Okay. RVD and Anderson I can understand. AJ I can even understand. But pulling Bully Ray? Bully Ray lost to Tommy Dreamer. And Tommy is a more viable #1 contender and worthy, more viable and believable contender for a world title than Bully Ray. Bully Ray slimmed down a little bit from his last singles push in the WWE, but come on. There's no way, just because you switch his name around and all that, there's no way Bully Ray is a viable and worthy #1 contender. There's no fucking way. Excuse me for a second. But like I said, there's no fucking way he's a viable #1 contender. No way. I mean, come on. If you're gonna add somebody to the mix, add Tommy in it, or add D-Bar. They're the baby faces. And this whole, oh, Anderson's not getting a rematch because he couldn't get the job done, or the network doesn't want him to be in a rematch. TNA, let me tell you this. Stop ripping off WWE, because this whole Anderson's an asshole, which is a good thing, which I like. I like the whole asshole gimmick. But come on. The whole, oh, I'm going to beat everybody up. Doesn't matter if you're a face or a heel. Come on. All you're doing is stealing the Stone Cold gimmick. Except you put it on Anderson. The only thing missing is him drinking beers. And giving people the bird. Well, he's already done that. I shouldn't say that. But you know what's even worse, TNA? Next week, you bring back Abyss. And you have him still siding with Immortal. You give him a new look. Okay, that's fine. And then what's even worse than that is in the following week, TNA, you're going back to what you did last 2 years ago. 2 years ago, you brought this guy back to be part of Lockdown. And now you're bringing him back again to probably be part of Lethal Lockdown. Christopher Daniels. I mean, come on. If you're going to finally make TNA... if you're planning to put the TNA originals back on top after Lockdown, then fucking do it and keep it that way. And again, like I said, if you're going to make up for what Jeff Hardy did, truly be apologetic for what Jeff Hardy did, and for allowing him to do that, then TNA, come on. Have Immortal lose some of the power back to Dixie. At least you could have the originals on equal footing with Immortal. Okay? Or at least have Dixie or Bob Carter reveal themselves as the ones that are part of the network. That would make more damn sense than the shit you're pulling right now. I mean, this just goes back to the video I uploaded yesterday. This just proves that us fans, with our SmackDown vs. Raw, with any wrestling video game out there, SmackDown vs. Raw, TNA Impact, ECW Hardcore Revolution, Fire Pro Wrestling, WCW Mayhem, and the list goes on and on. It just proves that we fans could put on better weekly, bi-weekly, YouTube, Daily Motion, Blimp.tv, internet wrestling shows, and CPV, creative pay-per-view shows than what TNA is doing right now. And people would want to watch them more and give them a better reaction and enjoy them more than what they're seeing in TNA right now. But you know, that's all I'm going to say about Impact last night and what TNA is doing. And all I can say is they better ship up and shape up, or they're going to ship out. They better just do something correct. They better correct themselves going into Lockdown. They better do something fans are going to like. That's all I can say.